Oh, alrighty, gang. It is currently 2:41 a.m. I don't know if you can't see that. 2:41 a.m. Today is the 4th of June. And that is another day completed. Had a pretty decent day, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Today, my day was pretty much filled with just a shit ton of calls. I think I had like 5 hours of calls, because I had a call with my sales team. I had a call with my client, because he just got back from holidays, which is fucking amazing, because now that means we are going to absolutely fucking cook. We're gonna fucking cook the fuck out of this guy's offer. I'm really excited, you know. I'm really excited, because for the last like month, probably like 2 months, literally haven't been able to do any work for this guy because he was traveling in New Zealand. And because normally when he does travel, he does, you know, do work and stuff as well. But what ended up happening was, he went to New Zealand. He wanted to travel, you know, around in like a van and stuff like that. And because of that, he didn't really have access to internet and, you know, all these different things. So because of that, he wasn't able to, like, you know, actually do a lot of work. So we just decided that, you know what, just fuck it, just enjoy your trip, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll just lock in whenever you get back. So now he's back. He's gonna be back for the next pretty much 6 months, like I think almost like to the end of the year. And yeah, so it's gonna be great. You know, we're gonna absolutely cook. Gonna dial in his pretty much his entire offer, dude. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I am feeling kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's like the first time we're doing a fucking proper launch, and you know, especially to this level, like launching for like high ticket, it is a little bit scary, a little bit nerve-wracking, because it's kind of like just the first time I'm doing it. And like I'm not an experienced copywriter. I don't have really experience copywriting. I don't really have experience with like short form content. Like building out, I really want to build out his personal brand, and I really want to dial in his short form content. But the issue is I don't really have, you know, the experience, like a lot of experience with that. So it's gonna be my first time just kind of doing that and trying my best to help him out. I know that I will be able to help him out. I know that I will do a good job. But I think it's pretty normal to like sometimes have these sorts of feelings, especially if it's like your first time when you're doing some of the stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm feeling kind of like right now. And you know, I think it's really important to like just sometimes just take a little bit of time to like, I don't think you should just like, you know, push down a lot of these feelings. I think it's important to really understand what you're feeling, why you're feeling it. Because what I've come to realize is that there are, you know, pretty big, you know, long-term negative, you know, repercussions of not taking the time to really understand your thoughts. And you know, if you're feeling a certain way, like not really processing that, if that makes sense. And you know, I guess sometimes it can cause things like procrastination and, you know, self-sabotage. And you know, when I was thinking about this today, it wasn't really a thing of it wasn't really any, like, it's not really a negative thing, you know, me feeling this way. You know, it's very, I think it's normal whenever you're trying to, you know, do something new or do something that you don't really have the most amount of experience in. I think it's pretty normal to feel, you know, a little bit nervous about shit. But yeah, like I'm feeling overall, I'm feeling good, you know. I think the best thing that I'm feeling is the fact that I can actually lock in and I can actually do work. And so really the plan really right now is to do a VSL cohort launch, where you know, the whole goal with this one is really to just cash collect at least a minimum of $30,000 with his offer. Currently, we're doing about last month we did. So here's the thing, right? This is why I'm actually really looking forward to it, because this last month we cash collected $10,000 for his offer, and that was without. He didn't post a single piece of long form content. He didn't post a single. He didn't post a story sequence. He didn't post any piece of like short form or reels or anything like that. There was no emails, nothing. The only thing we had, no ads either. The only thing we had was like a setup, right? The setup was just dialing some leads, and the rest of the leads that came in were just from like the VSL funnel that was running. So, you know, people who are watching like content that was posted previously. Now, this isn't really like a good thing that, you know, he didn't post and that, like, you know, no content was posted or anything like that. It's not a good thing. But the thing is that my thought process is like, if we were able to cash collect 10K with no YouTube content, no short form content, no emails, no ads, and just a setter, one not even like one dialer, really dialing the leads, where it's like he's dialing about 200, like he was dialing about 150 leads per day, and only like 10 to 15 people were picking up, right? And out of them, we were able to, you know, dial and have conversations with like 10-ish people per day, which led us to cash collecting $10,000 this last month from high ticket and $5,000 from short form. $10,000 from high ticket and $5,000 from the low ticket. So we're able to cash collect $15,000 with like really, you know, shit content side of things, with a shit VSL funnel, with not even like a confirmation page where we do like offer breakdowns, no FAQ breakout videos, none of that stuff, and we're still able to cash collect 15K. So my thought process is like, in this month, when I do dial all that stuff in, when I dial in the funnels, when I dial in the marketing, when I dial in the content, right, with short form and long form, and when, you know, I dial in email sequences, all that sort of, once all that sort of stuff is dialed in, right, how much am I going to be able to cash collect? Like, if I can do 15K with all those shitty inputs, right, then I genuinely think I can absolutely kill it with, you know, once these inputs are actually dialed in, right? So that's kind of like the thought process that I'm kind of having. So that's why I'm feeling like really fucking good. But yeah, I think that's the thing. And like right now, you know, the whole plan is just to do kind of like a VSL cohort launch. So that, and the whole my aim is to cash collect at least $30,000 for this offer, and, you know, the price point is around at $2,500. You know, if we can cash collect, you know, $30,000, that'll pretty much give me, you know, proof of concept, and it'll actually make me feel pretty good, pretty happy, pretty positive with, I guess, my skills, and then that'll also allow me to do a full, like, you know, breakdown video, so that'll really help me with content as well, and also with, like, you know, short form content and long form content. So yeah, if we can do that amount, right, and, you know, with that after all expenses and stuff like that, I will make, you know, I'm not gonna make an insane amount of money, but, you know, I'll make enough money that, you know, I can start to, you know, pay like, you know, a video editor and stuff like that more, so that I can start pushing out more content for myself, so I can start closing more clients. So that's kind of like my thought process. So I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to you know, making that money, and yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. But I think, like, for today, like, overall my day, you know, went pretty well, you know. It was a bit annoying because, fuck, I was so fucking annoying. I was pissed off. So basically, here's what happened, right? So I was making looms today because I was trying to do outreach. We're trying to do outreach, land another client. And I was making looms today, and literally what happened was, so basically the other thing I'm doing right now, something that I was trying to do today, is basically have a timer that goes off every 15 minutes, right? Because I really want to track where my time is going and how much work what one is like how much work I'm actually getting done, but you know, with my routine, with my schedule and stuff like that, like where is my time actually going and how much time am I either wasting or procrastinating or just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? That's one thing that I really want to track. So what I've been doing is every 15 minutes a timer goes off, right? When the timer goes off, it takes like literally like less than a minute, right? Where I basically go to my spreadsheet and I'll write what I did in those previous 15 minutes, and I will also highlight it, right? So I'll either do it green, which means that, you know, that I did it good, you know, everything was good. I was dialed in, I was locked in for those 15 minutes. Or I'll make it red, which means I was either distracted or I was doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. And or the other color will be yellow, which means that I was dialed in, I was locked in, and I wasn't distracted or anything like that. But what happened is that, you know, this was something that I could learn, or I would need to figure out to improve, to see how I can actually do a better job of, like, you know, making that thing faster. So for example, right, like so for example, for today, I can just read it out, right? So like, for example, in most of my day was, you know, pretty green, but there were some moments, for example, when I was editing the loom or when I was mapping out what to actually say on the loom, right? That I marked it as yellow because that's something I want to figure out, like how I can make that faster. So even though during that time when I was, you know, mapping out that stuff, and when I was editing the loom, even though I wasn't distracted and I was doing, you know, the work and I was locked in, it still felt like it was taking me a long time to do it. So that's something that I wanted to improve on. That's something that I want to improve on. I want to get faster at, right? Another thing was, like, you know, packing my gym bag, right? Like, I feel like if I had packed my gym bag the night before, I would have saved, you know, an extra like 5-10 minutes, right? Which means I would have got to the gym earlier, which means I could have had like an extra 5-10 minutes at the gym. So yes, just stuff like that, right? And then I did have a mini crash out, I'm not gonna fucking lie, because what happened was, like I was saying, is that I have an alarm that goes off every 15 minutes when I was making looms. Now when I was making these looms, I was using this microphone, and here's the thing with the microphone, right? Because I'm on my Mac right now. So the way it kind of works is, in order for me to actually use this microphone, I have to select the microphone from, like, the audio output, right? Whether it's a speaker or a Bluetooth, I have to select this microphone. If I don't, then this microphone isn't gonna work, and it's not gonna, like, pick up the audio, right? Now here's the issue. If this is what I'm selecting for the audio output, right? The only way for me to actually hear the audio that's coming out of this is if I have these headphones plugged in and I listen to it on my headphones. Now, here's what happened. Because I have my alarm that goes off every 15 minutes, right? The alarm went off on my computer on the system, right? But my headphones were not plugged in. So the audio, the sound of the alarm was coming through the system into the microphone, right? But because I didn't have headphones in, because this happened while I was recording the loom, I didn't know, like, it didn't tell me that, like, I couldn't hear it because, you know, obviously there's no, like, sound coming out of the microphone, right, to let me know that the alarm was going off, right? So then halfway throughout the loom, I'm fucking, like, you know, I do the whole loom, but then when I was editing it, I realized that halfway through the loom, there's this fucking alarm that's going off, and you can't hear anything that I'm fucking saying. So that pissed me off, because I'm like, now I'll have to re-record it, which means, you know, I'm probably gonna get like one less loom done today, which just pissed me the fuck off. So then I had like a mini fucking crash out about that. I was crashing out about that for a fucking good like 15-20 minutes. And then I had to re-record the fucking loom, and it was all this shit, and it was super fucking annoying, super frustrating. I had a fucking crash out, but then fuck it, we move, like we always say. Fuck it, we move, keep it pushing. It is what it is. Fuck it, it is what it is. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta keep fucking pushing. Yeah. So that was a little mini crash out that I fucking had. But yeah, I guess, like, other than that, like, yeah, you know, I guess that's where we are. You know, that's where I'm kind of at the moment. And yeah, I'm super hyped for this launch. So gonna have another solid day tomorrow, hopefully. Not hopefully, I know I'm gonna have a fucking good day because I'm gonna be fucking locked the fuck in. And yeah, that's really all I got for today. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.